1.
Tiger fans, Mark Fitzpatrick, Tiger Club of Kansas City. It's Tuesday, February 6th at the Westport Flea Market. Very special guest today from PowerMizzou, our old friend Gabe DeArmond. Gabe, thanks for making the trip up to Florida.
Appreciate you guys having me.
Let's talk a little about basketball. I don't think any of us saw this coming this year. It's been disappointing, but Dennis Gates got a great recruiting class coming in next year. He won last year. Your thoughts on the pros?
Bad year. No, they would admit that lost year. Worse than probably any of us would have expected, worse than they expected. But if you can go from 25 wins to 9 wins, there's no reason you can't go back to 25, right? The beauty of the transfer portal is that you can fix it pretty quickly. And he does have recruits coming in, and obviously nobody's happy with this season, least of all, I'm sure, Dennis in his private moments. But, I mean, he's had 5 years as a head coach. He's been better than we thought in 4 of the 5. This is worse, so let's believe this is the exception. And then next year he has to go prove that we were right.
Okay, everybody's feeling really good about the football program. You said some great things about it today. Looking back on last season, where do they go from here for next year?
Well, I mean, hopefully college football playoff, right? That is unquestioned the goal at this point. The first 12-team playoff, they want to be in it. There's reason to think they can. Obviously, some staff changes. Going to be different people out on the field, but no question where the bar is set.
My must read every Monday morning is your 10 thoughts. It's great stuff. You had some interesting things in there yesterday about Tigers going in the draft. Looks like Ennis Rakestraw, late first, early second. Now Darius Robinson had a great week last week. This is really a great sign for the program.
Absolutely. They could have 6, 7 kids drafted, and Gary Pinkel always said, Don James told him, when you start getting guys drafted, that's when your program hits the next level. Ennis and Darius have a chance to be first rounders. Javon Foster has a chance to be day 2. Chris Abrams-Drain has a chance to be day 2. So you're starting to get into the place where people look at Missouri as a place that produces those guys.
Big news this week, $62 million gift made to the athletic department. First thing I'll say, it wasn't me.
Right.
But the $50 million will go towards stadium improvements, $12 million NIL, if I understand that correctly, right?
Missouri can't call it NIL, but yes, it is NIL.
What do you look for in the stadium improvements? I know that's still discussion.
Yeah, north end zone stuff, it's the first step in a big project they have. We haven't seen any renderings, anything. I don't really know at this point.
You wrote a little about also about the Mizzou gymnastics team coming off a huge win against LSU. I think they're ranked 12th in the nation now. That program, big crowd, I guess, for the LSU team, 7,500 people. That program's really heavy.
Yeah, really on the upswing. Made the Final Four a couple years ago, and that's the goal again.
Sure. Last thing I want to ask you, the Big Ten and the SEC held this joint conference last week. You wrote a little bit about it yesterday. Obviously, we're going to see changes. And what the initial thought you had when you heard they were?
Change is coming. Breakaway, possibly. Breakaway from the NCAA, probably. Just a question of how many teams at this point and how many schools. But Missouri has a seat at the table.
That's great. Gabe, thank you. Always great to have you. He's a great friend of the club. Next week, Carrington Harrison from 610 Sports. Hopefully we'll be celebrating the Super Bowl. Oh, I did want to ask before you left, your prediction for Sunday.
Chiefs 31-20. Got us last time.
All right. Folks, hope that comes true. I'm feeling good about it. We'll see you next week. And for more information, go to kctigerclub.com.